Hello, and welcome to today's collective esoteric reading. Today, if you're wondering on the screen right now, I have my protection crystal, little emblem thingy. The base is clear quartz, and then the crystals that you'll see as it moves, because while there is no airflow in here, it's probably gonna, dilly-dally a little bit, are black tourmaline, blue kyanite, and selenite. So, protection could be something that you're thinking about right now, maybe spiritual protection or just protecting your person, your material. Finances is coming to mind. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. If you are interested in any of the cards, they will be in the description. I meant to say decks and I said cards, and I just heard cards out on the table. So that's interesting. Maybe you and somebody have left the cards out on the table. It reminds me of Dearly Departed from Marianas Trench, if you know that song. That is a very personal song to me. Like, I've known that song for as long as I've known Marianas Trench, so quite a while. But if you haven't checked out that song, and you relate to the idea of leaving the cards out on the table with somebody, I would recommend listening to that and be ready to cry. It's best with headphones, but I digress. Let's get to the point. What does this collective need to hear today? Alright. Eight of Wands reversed. Interesting. Okay. So there's a couple different ways this could be interpreted. Eight of Wands, when it's upright, is about how having multiple people who want to work with you, you're booked and busy. I like to think of it as, if you're a creative individual, which the Empress is on the bottom of the deck, so very possible that you like to create and work on life instinct type of things. You could be an artist. With the Eight of Wands in reversed, it's giving the vibe that either A, you may be overwhelmed by a lot of opportunities that are being presented to you right now, or it could also be that might be why you need the protection was here. I was looking around my room trying to figure out, I felt like I wanted an item in the reading similar to how I had a candle in the last couple, and this one came to mind. So it could be that you're a little bit overwhelmed with the amount of opportunities that are around you and you feel like you need to protect yourself. I'm going to draw a couple of cards, so we'll keep going, but could also be that you wanting to make sure you pick stuff that's right for you, and that's why you're overwhelmed. Why is this in reverse? Interesting, okay. Three of Pentacles. Just making sure you can see that. So here we get the idea that yes, there are new opportunities that are presenting themselves. You're excited. When I see the three, I think of like working with individuals, so that makes sense with the Eight of Wands, right? Three of Pentacles is also about getting an opportunity. I'm going to go ahead and read you the little expert in the book, but while I'm doing that, I just want to show that Ace of Wands is on the bottom of the deck now. So this could be something that you're newly experiencing. Could be that you recently had like an uprise in followers, or maybe you've gotten a new job opportunity and it's at a new place that you haven't worked at before. Let's check out the Three of Pentacles. Like I said, all of the decks will be in the description, so if you would like to check them out, you're more than welcome to. Also, I have a cat, so for a new viewer, if you're not familiar, I have a cat. And sometimes he will pop into the reading or play with cat toys because he's a cat, so he does that. So if you hear that, please don't mind them, but now you know what's going on. So we're going to read the Three of Pentacles in the book. Recognition, embracing... Oop, I can't read that. There we go. Recognition, understanding, and teamwork. Meaning excitement. There have been a great deal of teamwork and dedication in your situation. You have put energy and time into. You get the recognition you deserve after having showcased your abilities and communicated your ideas. This is the time to accept praise. If you are starting out a business venture or any other project, Believe in it fully so you can prosper beautifully. If you are single, now is the time to socialize as communication flows. Within relationships, the need to work as a unit is more important at present. And the moon message that this card comes with is showcase your skills and give thanks for what you get in reward. So, going back to one, the original camera angle, and two, going back to the energy, there very much is an element of working with individuals and then wanting to make sure that you still protect your energy. That could be why the Eight of Wands was in reverse, because it's like, there's a lot of energy here, there's a lot of opportunities, is what I meant to say, but that too, with that Three of Pentacles especially. Also, it's interesting that I said embracing instead of understanding. Now granted, I don't have my glasses on right now, so that is why. But the idea that you're trying to embrace the idea of teamwork, right? Embracing the idea that you can work as a team with other individuals. Something that's coming to mind is like-minded individuals. So it could be that you're wanting to make sure you work with people who you align with. You want to only take the opportunities that make you feel good about the work you would be doing, kind of a thing. For some reason, the Sydney Sweeney Good Jeans ad is coming up. So like, if that's an example of something that you wouldn't want to do, that's an opportunity that, yeah, it might pay, but it's not going to pay money that makes you feel good. I also think of the song Vampire Money by My Chemical Romance, which, to put it lightly, that song was made because they got offered a Twilight contract for a song and they denied it, and then they made Vampire Money in response. So, something along the lines of like wanting to pick things that are more aligned with you out of the opportunities that you are given. Also something about like, I'm gonna wait to say that just in case. I'm gonna pull some more cards on this Three of Pentacles energy. Is there anything else? Wow. Yeah, a lot of wands here. A lot of wands. Okay. Ooh, and then the Emperor on the bottom of the deck. It could also be that if you relate to the idea of being like a divine feminine or a divine masculine, it could be that you're getting a lot of like love offers. To me, I see the wands as like passion, creativity. Another way to interpret passion would be obviously love and other things you do when you love somebody. So, to put it lightly, I got the deck to Ten of Pentacles. So it's like the idea that your material is plentiful. You've got many options. It's just kind of, you might be a little bit scared about making sure you pick the right one. There's this idea, specifically because when I was pulling the Nine of Wands, which is that fear card, I was doing it in like questioning why the Three Pentacles was upright, which that was questioning the Eight of Wands reverse. So it's like this like train of a thought. Trains could also be a synchronicity for you. I'm thinking of like New York City, like the subway line. So that could be relevant to your life right now to kind of let you know that you're in the right place at the right time. But why is there this fear? Got two cards that time. Interesting. Ooh. Okay. Ha! Alright. So, I'm not saying this has to be a love reading. In fact, I feel like it could totally be taken as not. However, the idea that we got King of Wands and the Lovers together with all of this Wands energy, I'm just gonna say, like, if you were to take this as a love reading, like if this is feeling very love-centric to you, it's giving the vibes that you want to make sure you protect yourself from individuals who, yes, may be giving you the opportunity or offer to like pursue a relationship with them, but you want to make sure you pick somebody that's right for you, right? Yeah, my deck did a thing where it cut it, but like weird, so I'm just gonna show you without like touching it too much. I don't know if you can see that, but the Two of Cups, the Empress, the Eight of Pentacles, and the King of Swords, and the King of Pentacles with the King of Wands. So it's like this energy that you are in your Empress mode. You have worked so hard on your material. That Ten of Pentacles came out earlier too. Like, you are on your shite, as they say. And you're getting multiple offers, possibly in love. It could also be multiple offers of like people wanting to work with you, people wanting to be in your energy, being around you. Take that as you will. However, I just cut the deck again to Five of Wands, which is that chaos energy. It's Five of Wands is also like competition. So whether you take this as a romantic love or just admirable respect for the individual and like aka like business relationships, this could totally be interpreted that way. The Lover's card does not have to be about love. It's a decision, right? It's deciding, like, is this individual / this experience worth it? Is this what I want? Is this what I aligned with, right? And that coming with the King of Wands sideways, it gives me the vibe that you're experiencing a lot of passionate masculines right now. Whether that be, like, when I say masculines, I do not mean, like, just men. I mean people who are, when discussing this particular opportunity, are in their masculine energy, right? So there could be a lot of individuals of a variety of genders coming to you. I'm gonna ignore that dirty joke that I just made. I did not mean to. Anyways, coming towards you is what I meant to say, with different offers of passion, and you're wanting to pick the right one for you. You know, it gives a vibe that you're being courted, and like that's fun. Whether or not, like I said, this doesn't have to be romance related. It could also mean that people are wanting to work with you on different creative adventures, and you have to pick the individual who feels more passionate about the project they're offering you, right? If somebody is telling you they want to work with you on this multi-level marketing scheme, and you can tell that they're really doing it because they want your money and not really because they actually care about what they're doing, that's another way to interpret the Lovers and the King of Wands sideways, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be passion stick related. But yeah, let's get some more energy. Like, what should you do? What's some advice? Seven of Wands. You can get in, oh wow, this is so many Wands cards. Yeah, I would say you can be vigilant in protecting your energy, right? You can make sure that you're standing for what you believe in. When it comes to these offers, I just cut the deck to Page of Wands with the 10 of Wands under it. Wow, yeah, alright. The color green may be specific to you. That's interesting. But my point being, though, you have to have the inner strength to really be able to fight for what you believe in when given these opportunities. And part of that is being, like, in your own moment when you're by yourself, being able to sit with yourself and think and feel what are some traits, beliefs, and core values that I want to embody myself, as well as see in the individuals that I choose to be around / work with / love, right? It's this idea that pretty face is a pretty face, but what you really care about is what's under the skin, in the brain, in the heart. The body also is like side, you know, it's like pretty face, pretty body, but we care about the brain more, you know? We care about the heart more. It's this idea that, yes, there are multiple opportunities, people really want to work with you, but Temperance just came out. This idea that you've done the healing, and you want somebody who also has that healing mindset, right? This card is about alchemy, about, like, taking the troubles of life and putting them towards, I view it as like art. I've mentioned this previously in a tarot reading, but one of the main examples I give of alchemy is like when I first started therapy, because I had just started also painting too. She was like, my therapist was telling me how if I take almost a prompt from my childhood or something that made me feel a certain way, working with that prompt and making an art piece about it, making a painting, singing a song that relates, making a little clay figure, whatever have you, using your emotions for art in a way that is not robbing that previous version of you of the validity of their emotions is alchemy. I say that with the disclaimer because a technique comes to mind of like what I wouldn't recommend. I have a theater minor degree, and so I had to go to theater classes, and one of the main things that would be discussed in the intros of those classes was the technique of using your previous childhood versions of yourself to play certain characters. And that technique is very highly debated whether or not that's healthy for you. I don't mean it in that way. I mean it more as like, this is something that you can take your time with in your own space and create, so that way it's not in front of an entire crowd until you finish the project. The thing with theater is that it's so in the moment in front of a crowd that it can kind of feel like you're almost simplifying and cartoonifying your previous experiences. But when it comes to something as private as painting a painting, right? If you are painting that painting and you're feeling the feelings and something comes over you where you need to cry because a previous emotion that you felt is coming back super deep, that's something that's a little bit easier to do in the safety of your own home, in the safety of close friends, in the safety of maybe even a therapist, in the safety of not being surrounded by a bunch of strangers, right? This is a little bit random, but maybe this will be like a little icebreaker and then we'll move on to the next thing. I just dropped my deck to the Emperor, so okay, anyways. Point being, there's something that Josh Johnson, who's a stand-up comedian, made a thing about where he was talking about you have to pick the right time to crash out, because if you end up crashing out at a McDonald's at like a 16-year-old screaming at them because they didn't get you the sauce, that's a bad time to crash out compared to like being at home surrounded by friends and family who can like be there for you, right? That idea, right? Where it's, if you've already worked on the trauma and you've already had that time with your therapist and with friends and family and being able to rely on your community in a safe way where it wasn't making a character out of your previous self, c'est la vie, go ahead, you've already dealt with that. But when it comes to things that are especially fresh or especially, you know, emotion trauma related that you haven't taken the time to unpack and really feel through, that is where I would, you know, grain of salt. But getting back to the point, hopefully that was beneficial for you. It feels like you've done a lot of healing on picking the individuals that you would like to work with based off of their core values, their beliefs, what you two can do together, right? Whether or not this is work related or love related. My deck just kind of flipped to the bottom card out of nowhere. So that was the moon, and then right under it is the star. So there's also this idea that if you've gotten this far in the reading, there's this idea of a wish coming true. Right under the star was the magician, which is all about, once again, alchemy, but also manifesting, which, as funny as burps can be, it's also about like having a lot of energy and releasing it. So I would understand, I didn't mean to say that, but also going back to that Three of Pentacles with that understanding, right? I feel like you're not seeing there's a wish fulfillment coming for you, like to you, and this wish fulfillment could be an individual who wants to work with you, who has also been through that same journey of alchemization of their previous inner child, of making sure that they also are somebody who picks individuals they like and care about and can work with in a way that's not creating unnecessary work/love issues. For example, like you wouldn't put somebody who's a racist in a room with a black person because obviously that's not gonna fucking go well. But if you put somebody who's willing to hear out a black person and a black person, that might go well, you know? So it's that idea of not putting yourself in situations that are dangerous because you as an individual have put in a lot of work on making sure that you know what you're looking for in people in your life, to put it simply, you know? I can't, oh, sorry, just that Sydney Sweeney ad is coming to mind, and the fucking, that was shit was so racist. Anyways, God, that shit was annoying. Just, bleh. Maybe, you know, you recently talked to a friend about that, because that's coming hard. I know I just did, like, last night, so that could just be me. But damn. Oh, yeah. No, that shit was fucked up. My body is agreeing. This is rough. Point being, though, we're going to end this off with one more tarot card, and then an All of You is Magic card to kind of give you an affirmation or mantra throughout your journey. I would definitely say, though, even though there is a lot of opportunities being arised to you, know that you have done the healing, literally, to be able to pick what's right for you. Yeah, 2 Pentacles. You have the balance to be able to pick the correct energy. There's this in and out of energy. This card talks, because it's Pentacles, talks a lot about like money. Money is an example of energy. So while this card could totally for you be about having an in and out of money and wanting to pick the right areas where your money is coming from, it doesn't necessarily have to be that. It could just be energy. And if we're thinking about that, it's that idea of like picking and choosing who you want to invest your energy in. Because if you notice that somebody's doing some whack shit, like, I don't know, the fucking Sydney Sweeney ad with the good jeans, that's somebody that you as an individual could be like, no, I don't fuck with that. So why would I bother giving them my energy if they're not somebody who I respect, frankly. Another example could be if somebody's completely fucking ignoring you and you're thinking about them, if they're ignoring you and not talking to you, then you can be the person to be like, okay, if this person doesn't want to give me their energy, why am I giving them mine? I feel you there. Trust me. I've been there. I get it. But we're going to end it off with one. I just want to let you know that the 6 of Swords is on the bottom of the deck. There's this idea that you're going to be getting away from having to deal with those individuals who, frankly, are just not right for you. Like, they're not your vibe, to put it simply. But we'll end it off with a little card from the All of You is Magic deck. I love this deck because it has many, many, many beautiful arts and colors. I'm feeling this one. We'll go this one. The color purple could also mean something to you. So, first we're going to read the top part. On your life journey, you are born and reborn in cycles. Like a phoenix from the ashes, you rise every time. That's interesting. I was just watching a playthrough of the video game Dispatch, and if you're familiar with that game, the plot point is you're dispatching a bunch of villains who are wanting to be like resurrected into heroes, and they're literally called the Phoenix team. So, and that's like a big part of the plot. So, this idea that you're able to learn from the mistakes of the past, and in doing so, make choices and decisions that build you up into a new individual that you yourself are more aligned with. It's like that idea of having your interior and your exterior match, right? Now for the little ritual. If you're interested in meditating or journal prompts, these are really good for that. Visualize yourself. Oh, wait, I can't. Okay, there we go. Visualize yourself as a soaring phoenix and write down your physical characteristics. Keep this image in your mind and visualize it when you're feeling low. Yeah. And then, as I'm doing my outro, forgive me for the camera hand in the way, I encourage you to really meditate on this art and see if any thoughts or feelings, maybe memories, come to mind. I'm feeling called to go to the idea that you just haven't seen how much growth you've been in with those flowers all over her chest, but her eyes are closed. This idea that, like, you've been through so much growth, and if somebody else could tell you and show you just how much they see your growth, I'm sure you'd be able to see it. But it's hard to when it's yourself, right? I find that it's kind of similar to when people work out. When you first start working out, slash when you've been working out for a while, it's kind of harder to see your own results because you're constantly staring at your body, and so it's small changes over time, right? So if you're constantly seeing the small changes, you're not going to see the big picture of how much the jump has been, right? But somebody else who maybe saw you before you worked out, and then you haven't seen in a couple of months, and suddenly boom, bow, pam, there you go, and they see you, they're going to be able to recognize that growth as an individual, whether it be muscles or losing body fat or whatever the fuck you want to do in the gym. They're going to be able to see that progress more because they were not the ones staring at your body throughout the journey, because they're not in your body, right? They're not you. So that idea could totally apply here. I feel like you will be able to see just how much growth you've had as a person because of the individuals you choose to work with and align with. And I get the vibe you'll also see yourself in them in a way that will make you feel good about yourself. Because that's what friends are supposed to do, you know? Whether it be friends or boss, co-workers, team leaders, team workers, team employees, I don't know. In general. I hope that you get the recognition that you deserve and that you see your progress through your own actions and decisions. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. If you're still here, please check out my linktree in my YouTube description and YouTube bio to help donate money to Palestine, Sudan, Congo, Yemen, and Haiti, as well as many more. The whole point of that linktree is to help put money to where money can help people live better lives. So if you're interested in doing that, which you fucking should be if you have the opportunity to do so, frankly, especially if you're a billionaire watching this, Jesus. Point being though, if you're able to donate today, please check out that linktree and donate to somebody in need. Also, if you're an immigrant, particularly in the USA, because y'all are being attacked all the time, I hope you have a very safe, relaxing, fulfilling emotionally day. And I hope that you discover a childhood story time book that you forgot about. Goodnight Moon is mine. I always forget that book exists, and then I'll find it in the corners or ethers of life. But yeah, I hope you have a fantastic day. Please stay safe, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.